Livestock Training Center, Kachia. There are many factors that are responsible for the low level of animal protein produced by the cattle and other animals species in Nigeria. One of the problems was the traditional method of animal husbandry. And in order to reverse that trend or to address that trend, the federal government felt that there is a need to establish a livestock training center that will teach pastoralists the modern ways of animal husbandry. So the idea of Kachia Livestock Training Center came, and this center was established. This center, the location of this center is strategic because behind the training center is the Kachia Grazing Reserve. The Kachia Grazing Reserve was established by the National Livestock Training and National Livestock Projects Division with headquarters in Kaduna. The grazing reserve, in the grazing reserve, there are about 5,000 pastoralists settled there with over 50,000 heads of cattle. The same office that constructed this livestock training center constructed art dams for the pastoralists, boreholes for the pastoralists, health centers for the pastoralists, primary schools for the pastoralists. So this center actually was, the foundation for this training center was laid sometime back 1990. 2 years after, that is by 1992, work stopped until 2008, when money was provided by the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development to the Livestock Training, National Livestock Projects Division Kaduna for its completion. The center was commissioned by the Honorable Minister, Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, Professor Sheikh Ahmad Abdallah, on the 14th of October 2010. What we are seeing here is the auditorium. It has the capacity of holding 25 people, 500 people seated for a conference. We have other facilities like a small clinic, a 30-bedroom hostel accommodation for participants. We have a lecture room. We have an administrative building. All these structures are just phase one of the training center. There is yet to come up the second phase. And the second phase has to do with practicals, demonstration units. So as a livestock training center, we have started training people, but we don't have a demonstration unit for them to have their practicals. So what we are doing now is to try to identify a few farms around where we can take our participants to acquire some practical experience while passing through us. I want to say that the training center has as its target livestock officers from federal, state, and local government. Also, smallholder and commercial farmers. There are also new entrants. Anybody that is interested in livestock can come to the center. Our courses here range between 1 to 2 weeks. And at the end of the training, we award the certificate of attendance. For now, we have identified 19 courses in different areas of livestock production and health to train livestock farmers. The training center itself is unique in that it's the only one of its kind in Nigeria. It is the only livestock training center where you can go and be training every area of livestock outside the conventional academic institution. We have lecturers because the training center here is collaborating with 5 institutions who are providing resource persons to the center, like the National Animal Production Research Institute, SHICAR, provide resource persons to us here in the area of dairy and pasture development. University of Maiduguri provide resource persons in the area of sheep and goat production. University of Agriculture Makodi provide resource persons to us here in the area of swine production, in the area of poultry production, in the area of micro livestock production. University of Abubakar Tafawa Balewa Bauchi provides resource persons in the area of dairy and beef cattle production. So this training center is unique in that the resource persons are not based here. They have our training calendar, and we've been able to enter into a kind of an MOU with their universities, so that whenever there is any training, the resource person will come, take his accommodations there, deliver his training, and he's paid off and he goes back. Over time, we've been able to train a few because the training center was just commissioned 2010, and we used 2011 for the planning. We started training people 2012. And 2013, we trained more livestock farmers than 2012. And by the grace of God, 2014, we trained more livestock farmers than 2013, because more and more people are beginning to know about the training center. We have tried to produce a small pamphlet, brochure, for the school, which we question. The first one is, you said the second phase of the project is the demonstration ground. And when you train people, you look for farmers around where they can demonstrate. The environment, and this kind of environment, the farmers you go to, I don't know where you see them, is it the same? Is it what they can practicalize? Is it the same? Then the second thing is, we have what we call nomadic education in this country. And cattle rearers, most of them, the Fulani, they go about, they do their thing. I looked at your approach here, I did not see anything that carried those people along. Is there a way you break down these courses into their own kind of language, you teach them how to work with their cattle?
Yeah.
Trainings were conducted in Fulani and even in Hausa for them. And I want to say, like I said, the location of the training center is strategic. Some of the trainings take place right there in the grazing reserve for the Fulanis. And this training center, the initial idea was to construct 6 of these types in Nigeria to have each one in the 6 geopolitical zones, so that the farmer in Bayelsa or Cross River will not have to travel all the way to come to Kachia. But I think there was a problem somewhere that even the Kachia, it took 16 years for it to come up. This was to be Livestock Training Center Kachia. There was to be Livestock Training Center Ibadan, Livestock Training Center Calabar, Livestock Training Center Enugu, like that. So that the farmers around here can just move, have their training within a short distance and move back to their business. But after 16 years, only the Livestock Training Center Kachia came to be. So when the minister came to commission it, he now added national. Instead of Livestock Training Center Kachia, he added National Livestock Training Center Kachia. Because it's the only one that was completed. And I want to say that this Livestock Training Center is unique, that it is the only one of its kind in English West Africa. People are beginning to talk about the training center, even in West Africa. I was opportune to travel to have a few trainings in the Netherlands. I was there 2010. The training center I attended, they had demonstration units. But when I went back 2011, all the demonstration units were gone. So I said, why? And the lecturer there told me about the public-private partnership between the center and the farmers. So when I came here and I was appointed the provost, pioneer provost of the training center, well, I was told that this is the phase 1. The phase 2 is yet to come up. So what do I do? Should the training stop till the phase 2 come, even when the minister promised to complete the phase 2? Even when he left, this is the 3rd year, we have not had anything about the phase 2. But in order not to stop anything, I said, okay, I have learned something about my trip to Hoda. The training center there was able to identify farmers. So I came down here and I was able to identify a few livestock farms where I can always take my participants here for practical exposure. And that's how it has been for the time being. Except if tomorrow, maybe by this visit, if the phase 2 will come up, I want to say that the issue of farmer conflict, the main office that has established this training center has been able to address it, because the mandate of the main office is grazing reserve and stockhold development. The training center has actually little to do on that. Ours is just to train farmers, whether on pasture, animal husbandry, and so on and so forth. But the main office in Kaduna, the National Livestock Project Division, has the mandate of grazing reserve, stockhold development, even pasture development. Has developed pasture for the pastoralists, even in the grazing reserve here. And that has actually minimized this farmer pastoralist conflict. Somebody mentioned about the synergy between the VOM and the training center. Actually, like I said, this is a livestock training center, and as a livestock training center, our mandate is on livestock production. The mandate for VOM is on animal health. The mandate for National Veterinary Research Institute VOM is animal health, but our mandate here is on livestock production. But we do communicate, and we have 1 or 2 courses on animal health, and we have some of their people there who come here as resource persons. Like when we have courses like community animal health workers scheme, where we train these pastoralists on the basic things they need to know on the health of their animals. The basic things they need to know about the health of the animal. We have people from home that come here to train them. So I think have I exhausted them?
Yes. By the provost, in his main brief, and also in response to the questions that were asked. It may have taken 16 years or so to get this project off the ground, but here we are. We have the National Livestock Training Institute, which is very significant. I would like to urge the provost to employ the best of his talent and skill to ensure that the program that they are running here is actually delivering on the mandates that they have. Of course, we all know the significance of having increased yield from livestock. Some of the cattle and other livestock that you see that have been headed through the highway or through the farmlands. Some of them, we understand that they are tuberculoid, or you see their rib cages bulging, and so the yield is quite low. And here we believe, therefore, that once their skills have been enhanced, then going forward they will be in a better position also to produce livestock that have higher yield. I don't think that it is too late. It's not a matter of regret that initially 6 of this kind of centers were planned for the country, and today we have only 1. Let's make do with the one that we have, and I'm sure that by the time your reputation grows, the demand for the institute, for the establishment of these similar centers elsewhere in the country will also grow. But how do you attract attention to yourself? Partly, Mr. Provost, I would like to suggest that the need for a demonstration center that you would require as part of your second phase is a matter that you must seek to pursue earnestly with your parent ministry. You have to do that because it is a critical adjunct to this particular center. And more importantly, you mentioned in the course of your briefing that you circulated this brochure to 36 commissioners for agriculture and through other various sources, which is particularly useful. In other words, you recognize the need to begin to advertise your courses. However, you would need to do a lot more than what you have done, namely taking advantage of several other fora and several other platforms to advertise the courses that you have here on offer, inviting interested persons or candidates to participate in your courses. And I'm sure that by word of mouth, those who come here and those who benefit from the program will help you similarly in advertising it. I must admit that before I came, before this visit, I never knew that a center like this existed. And today coming here, obviously, it's quite useful. One other point that we may need to make: if you come in here, the courses are the cost. I wouldn't know whether the itinerant farmers, the nomadic cattle rearers, might be in the position to pay the various fees that you have applied here. Now, who provides the subsidy, or who provides the bursaries, shall we say, to such cattle rearers, persons who are indigent, ordinarily, who will tell themselves, look, why should I go and spend so much in a class when my parents, my foreparents have been doing this for several years, and I've also been doing this? How then do you encourage such persons to come on the program? That, in our opinion, is not necessarily the responsibility of you as provost or as the center. I believe that it is one assignment that local governments being the closest to the people, can take upon themselves to say, look, we will identify classes of pastoralists whom we can encourage, sponsor to come and participate in these programs, so that going forward we can have better yields coming from the livestock. So once again, we'd like to urge you to proceed with your programs, and we thank you for the enlightenment that you have given us this evening. Thank you.